everybody. This is Miss Maureen, one of the Youth and Parent Service Librarians at the Huntington Public Library. I'm here to help your May the 4th celebrations be fun. And here I are some things that you may enjoy to do or to look at. And first thing I'm going to show right now is here is one of our previous crafts from one of our Star Wars Reads Day, and it is a lightsaber, and it's made from a part of a pool noodle and some purple duct tape. And then I have some books here that I had checked out of the library. Now, if you do not have any checked out of the library, I will include some links to our, so you are able to check some out, whether it's from Overdrive, from Libby, from Hoopla, so you have options of things to look at. Now, and then I have, of course, I have C3PO here. He's going to be making sure I stay on the right path. And then I also have my supervisors. I have Daisy, and then I have Puka, and they're going to make sure I do everything correct. Now, what the craft I have ready today is homemade Play-Doh, which I got the recipe from one of our resource people from one of the parent-child workshops that we always have. Thank you, Karen Glosson. And this is a recipe. I will also include it as a photo, so you don't have to rush to jot it down now. And this is a recipe for Play-Doh. This is the Play-Doh I will actually be doing. And then there are other things that she has included. And again, then this one is for granite Play-Doh, just the regular Play-Doh with a little something extra. Again, thank you, Karen Glosson from Creative Play. And some of the things you may need. I do not have food coloring at home, so I am making do with what I have. I have some watercolors. I have some Sharpies. I actually have some magnets, which I will do. I will add a magnet to make a refrigerator magnet with the one Play-Doh creation I have in the oven. Now, once you follow the recipe, which is just includes for flour, salt, vegetable oil, and water for the basic recipe, this is what it's going to look like. I've already done that. And then one of the things you can do, like I said, I do not have food coloring, so this piece actually I did with watercolors, as I took a little separate piece, because because you can have your separate pink piece. That I did with watercolors. I painted directly onto the Play-Doh and mixed it up. And then this one I did with this Sharpie, so it looks a little marbleized. And if you don't have, I am lucky enough to have some Star Wars stencils. But if you don't, what you can do is, and if you don't have tracing paper, I just took a regular piece of paper from a pad and I traced. Hopefully you can get, it looks like the Millennium Falcon. It's not perfect, but it will make do. And then kids, with your parents' permission, you can use a knife to trace around that, and or you can tear it around and just, you can either bake that or you can just make that one particular one, and then we can make something else. We can rule circles and make a BB-8, and I will try that myself now. Cut around the picture that I have and just taking that off. Of course, more Play-Doh fun. And see, there you go. And I can use I can either just leave as is, and then it's a nice creation to look at for a minute, and then scrunch it up to make another, because this is Play-Doh. Or what I could do is I can bake it, and then I can paint it with or color it with the Sharpies, or paint it with the paint. And then also, once you have something baked, if you want to, not saying you have to, you can use something like Mod Podge to make it stick. Or as Karen Glosson said in her instructions, you can use clear nail polish and polish it up. I will wait to show you what mine looks like after I do the Mod Podge. But I don't have clear nail polish, and I think if you just have regular glue, you can use that to smear over, and that will help hold it. And this is for after you bake one of them. All right, I'm going to check and see how the one I have in the toaster oven is doing. And I scrunched up my Millennium Falcon, and now I've made a nice little BB-8, at least what I think BB-8 looks like, or what I can do. Again, does not have to be perfect. I'm with this bunch of Play-Doh, maybe I will make a TIE fighter. And if I'm gonna make a TIE fighter, saying if you have a straw, or if you can go pick out a stick out of your yard, that will help you with the wings and the body of the TIE fighter. And Daisy and Puka are here, right here, just making sure that I'm doing all the right stuff. All right, so there we go. Hey everybody, what do you think of my TIE fighter? I think Daisy might like it. Puka is not sure, but I like it. And say if this is the one you wanted to bake and keep and paint and decorate, I would see the straw I have in the middle. So I would suggest that you have the holes poked in. It's perfect, so you can bake it and then color it. Any color you want. Doesn't have to be what the Star Wars movie says. It could be whatever color. If you want a blue TIE fighter plane, you go right ahead. And then, but before you bake it, I would make sure you take the straw out, and then you can put that back in after you color it any way you can, whether it's or if you have the dough colored already, if you have food coloring at home. But please be sure when you take some of these, if you do bake any of them, make sure you have an adult help you, or you use a hot pad, because it will be hot when it comes out. I just baked a circle, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stencil I have. Again, if you don't have Star Wars stencils at home, use even a regular piece of loose leaf paper to trace something you like, or if you have just letter stencils, you can use that. And so let me do that, and you'll see what it looks like. Right. There's my little baked piece of Play-Doh with Star Wars. Again, when you take it out of the oven, please have an adult help you. And before you even try coloring it or painting it, make sure it is cool completely. Okay? Now everybody, I did put the Mod Podge on this. Now, if you've never used Mod Podge, if you have it or you run out and get it, I would suggest using a foam kind of brush if it's easy, and I would put a little Mod Podge on your plate so you're not double dipping into the container. And Mod Podge, it's a glue type thing. It does look white. You wonder, I don't want you to panic and think, oh, I covered my picture. That will dry clear, okay? I just wanted to set that reminder. Progress has been made with my Star Wars Play-Doh that was baked and Mod Podge put on. As you can see, the Mod Podge is almost completely dry, so it's quite clear. Still a little bit of wet, so that's why you see the little bit of white marks, but quite clear and quite shiny. So I may even stick one of the magnets that I have on this back. Have a nice new refrigerator magnet. And again, this is Miss Maureen, one of the Huntington Public Library Youth and Parent Service librarians. And I hope to see any of your Star Wars crafts, or if you're dressing up in any of your Star Wars favorite characters, please post them on the Huntington Public Library's Facebook page, or on the YouTube if you do a little video. I would love to see them. And I know I miss you, and I know all my coworkers and librarians at the library miss you, so I hope to see you soon. All right, and here are Daisy and Puka, and they were making sure that I did a perfect job for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it.